Hello, Evendale students. It is your music teacher, Mr. Fermier. I just wanted to give you a walkthrough video for the fourth Quaver assignment. This one can be turned in. You just need to save it and submit it, and I'll show you that in the walkthrough. All right, guys, enjoy the video. All right, guys, I should be in the bottom corner of your screen right now. So when you go under the student button at the bottom, click on your assignments, and go to home lesson number 4. And here is a nicely worded instructions part for you, but I am going to kind of go through it here for you. So I'm not going to read through all of that right now. So just click on launch, and it's going to open up something called QStrum. So strum refers to how you play the guitar, strum, or a ukulele, instruments that have strings. All right, so you'll see that there's two different instruments that you can write for. There is this top one and this bottom one. The top one, if you click on it 2 times, you will see a couple of different instruments that you have choices of for the top. So you could use a guitar, ukulele, a rock type electric guitar, or a jazz type electric guitar. I guess this is a beginning guitar versus a more professional guitar. So I don't know how different those two are, the two guitars. But the ukulele is going to have a different sound for sure, the rock guitar and the jazz guitar. And if you go on the bottom, electric bass or fuzz bass. Fuzz is like a distorted sound that you hear a lot in rock music. So those are your 2 types for the bass. All right, so you pick a rhythm and a chord. All right, so for instance, it's already highlighted on C major. I could click D major, D minor, E minor. I could scroll over to the next page, and there's 4 more choices there too. All right, but if I kept it at C major and I wanted to use this strum pattern, a half note and 2 quarter notes, I'm just going to drag it and drop it right in that first measure. So it's going to sound like da, 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 except for like a guitar, not me singing it. All right, let's listen. Okay, you probably didn't hear that because my headphones were in. Let's try that again. All right, pretty cool. So let's make a 4-measure phrase. All right, here's a progression that I like. So the next measure, I changed up the rhythm. I also changed up the chord to D major. Then we'll just do 4 quarter notes on F major, and then we'll go back to C major. And I'll just do 1 whole note there. So your rhythms you can pick from either the strum durations or the strum patterns. And on strum patterns, like I said, there's 2 screens. And on chords, there's 2 screens as well. All right, so make sure to flip over. It gives you even more options. But now we have a 4-measure chord progression. Let's listen to it. Yeah. Now, some of you may already be saying, that sounds like a song. And there's plenty of songs that are written using that chord progression. All right. If you click on the bottom, so this will give you the bass part. All right. So a bass guitar, most of the time, is playing only 1 note at a time. All right. So here are your choices, and they just give you 4 choices here, it looks like. Oh, there's more than 4. Okay, so remember to look at it says 1 of 4 under the chords. If you hit the yellow arrow, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, and 4 of 4. All right, but if I wanted to start on a C, because, click this again, because that's what the first chord is. is a type of C chord. That's right. I have to drag the pattern. If you try to drag the chord, it doesn't work. So drag the pattern. Click on the note that you want. See, I'm still learning this as well. This is good for me. So it highlights the note I want to see, and I want the C to play 4 quarter notes. So I'm going to drag that. Now listen to it. So it's subtle, but it's under there, right? And you would really hear it if I took this out and I made this say I made the first measure a whole note, right? So the guitar is going to strum just one time, and it's going to sustain for 4 beats. It's just going to go bum. But the bass is going to go bum, 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 bum. It's going to hit 4 quarter notes. So let's listen to that. Listen for the bass underneath. Cool. Now you may notice under measures, this says 1 to 4. If I click the arrow to the right, it'll say 5 to 8, 9 to 12. I don't know how far it can go, but it just seems to keep going. This is up to about 44 measures right now. Try to keep it, looks like it goes to 64. I don't expect anyone to write a 64 measure unless you're really feeling like you want to. If so, go for it. But 4 measure sections work the best. So a 4 measure section would be good. An 8 measure section would be good. A 12 measure section would be good. I'm counting by 4s, right? So what I mean is, if you did a 5 measure phrase, it's going to sound a little strange, or a 7 or a 9 measure phrase, right? They work better, not always, but a lot of times in groups of 4, all right? So I would say for most of you, do either, I'm going to say make a 4 or 8 measure composition, all right? Another thing, if some of you are saying, how do I know what chords to use? And that's a great question. Right now, most of you don't have music theory, like a lot of music theory background, so you couldn't just come up with chords off the top of your head that you know are going to sound good without even hearing them. But what everybody does have are these things right here. We all have ears. So even though you may say, I feel like I'm just guessing, I'm just throwing up different chords and seeing how they sound together, that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you just to explore using your ears to find something that sounds good to you. So one technique that I mentioned in the instructions is to start and end on the same chord. You'll notice on mine, I started on C and I ended on C. So C is like my home base. It's also the key of this song, but that gets a little in depth. But it's just like my home base. So you kind of start and end at the same spot, right? You don't always have to, but a lot of times, most of the time in music, that's how it works. But get creative, guys. I want to see you come up with some interesting chord progressions and use the different sounds. I mean, if you use a ukulele on here, it sounds really cool too. Or if you use a rock guitar, let's do a rock guitar, and let's do the C power chord. Right, I'm just going to try to throw it up here real quick. Let's listen to this. Pretty cool, huh? Right, so if I did that for the rest of this, same chord progression that I did before, C to D to F back to C. It's going to sound like this. Okay. And actually, why don't we do the fuzz bass? Let's see what that sounds like. Let's do fuzz bass. and we will start on C. And we're just going to do quarter notes the whole time. D's, F's, back to C's. Boom. All right, let's listen to this. Cool. That's starting to sound like a real song. So hopefully you guys can see how when you mix the different sounds, the different instruments, that honestly, the sky is the limit. You could make a bunch of different songs on this. So please get creative, take your time. I would just like to see it before the end of the year, which is coming up on us pretty fast. But try to get it to me by the end of this week, and I really look forward to seeing it. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, congratulations. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to submit something for the virtual talent show, because each and every one of you has a talent. I know it, and I want to see it and put it out to the world to see. All right, guys, I really hope everyone's hanging in there well, and I look forward to seeing you again, and I really look forward to hearing what you come up with on QStrum. All right, guys, till next time. I'll see you. Bye.